Well guys, I have done it. I picked up my number 8 RX 6700 XT. I got this second hand, but new in box at slightly under MSRP. It's not as efficient a card as an Nvidia one on mining, but I now have 8 of these different models. I got Gigabyte, which actually aren't terrible on the AMD cards. They're horrible on the Nvidia. I would never buy an Nvidia Gigabyte card. And apparently the power supplies are blowing up right now or something, so I'd avoid those, but I haven't had any issues with them on AMD cards. So here we go. So anyways, this was to fill my 8 card rig. Make it all complete. I paid $950 Canadian for this card. I have a friend in USA who sent me this exact same card down in the States, and it was like $930 US before tax. I don't know what they pay in tax down there in Texas, but it would probably end up being significantly more than $950 Canadian. So I'm happy with that purchase. These cards are rock solid. I got 46.5 mega hashes each, and they never go down. They're very, very stable. AMD cards are really good for that. I'd love to get my hands on some 6600 XT and see how they are. So here you go, Gigabyte. One thing I don't like about Gigabytes, as I've said before, they have these really little fans. These fans are like, well, look how big the shroud is on each side. It's like half of a finger width, which is quite a bit when you think about how small these fans are to begin with. So there you go, Gigabyte. So I'll be putting that into a rig. And at the same time when I went to got that, I picked up another 3080 Ti, which means I am also going to do a pretty crazy fun 3080 Ti build. That puts me at 7 cards. So I'm going to make a 7 3080 Ti build, all on Raven. I don't know what that's going to do. 400 hashes almost, just about 400. No more. They do 58 each. Somewhere around there. Anyways, we'll be doing that next. But for now, 6700 build. Let's go. So here is my 6700 build. Currently, it's got an MSI, and an MSI, 2 gigabytes. Oh, there's another MSI over there, and then an Asus TUF. Asus TUF is actually just massive compared to these other ones. Look at the size of that thing. Look at the difference. That's crazy. Cooling is bigger. Still triple fan. These MSIs are dual fan, but they have really big fans on them. Asus TUF has really big fans and 3 of them. Those have always been really solid cards. Here's the Gigabyte, 3 dinky little fans. Okay, there we go. And then here's the new one. And over here, we've got our spider case with those old 10 series cards in there. So I'm going to pull those cards out, put that one in, and then this case and that motherboard, new power supply. I'm going to run server power. That will become my 3080 Ti build. We'll have 7 of those in there. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to both of these builds. These will be 2 permanent builds, which is cool. That's what I'm working towards. Getting a bunch of permanent builds that I don't need to move around and fiddle with. So we're getting closer. It seems like every week I'm getting some more of these. Start consolidating some rigs, getting them running as efficient as possible. So let's go. Let's build this thing. Those cards plus that card are going to go in there. I'm going to do the red panda miner trick because I love it when he does that thing. In 3, 2, 1. Voila! Done! 8 6700 XTs in there. Sure looks pretty with them all jammed in there. Few things to note about this case though. This tough card right here barely fit. Look at that. There is like millimeters of space there. Let's get this little screwdriver just for reference. Look at this. Like this is a screwdriver, not even close to fitting in there. That's like 1/4 of a centimeter of space maybe. So to even fit that card in there, I had to actually take out these HDMI plugs and the DisplayPort plug, put the card in, and then I put them back. I guess I don't really need those, but I put them in there anyways. And the height, it's got this big tough logo here, which I guess I could take that off if I need to, but that pretty much touches the top of the case. That card is huge. These Gigabyte cards, much better size. They're only, it's an 8-pin and a 6-pin, so this extra piece is flopping here. Oh, look at that. I also gashed my thumb while doing this. These cases are computer components, man. They are sharp. They're like knives. So when you're doing this, you got to make sure that this little spare 2-pin doesn't stick into any fans. So like this one would have stuck in the tough fan. So I looped it up and jammed it into the wires there so that it stays away from that extra fan. These ones are okay though. And over here on these MSI cards, these cards are fatter than these other ones over here. They've got a lot more width on them. 2 8-pins, but if you look, these are much closer to the ports. Like it's a shorter card, and the pins are a lot closer to this end compared to this. So these wires really had to stretch to get in there. There is not a lot of, like these ones have a lot of play in them. These ones are like, they're tight. It was tough getting those plugged in there. But they're all in there. They're all ready to go. Everything looks good. I've got Simple Miner installed on an SSD, which came with this board. I'm going to put that lid on it, fire it up. Got my laptop over there to check out the software. Got my boxes of cards. Beautiful sight that. Let's fire this thing up and see how it works. Before we do that, here's the old board. Just a mess of stuff. I know a lot of guys say don't use wood cases, but they're sturdy, man. You can pick up this whole thing with cards from like any point on it. There's no give or anything in it. I think Mining Chamber it might have been has some really nice aluminum frames, but I've got some Veta frames and I hate them. You try to move those things and they just like, they flop all over the place. The little angle screws come out of them. They're really hard to put together. They take forever. I hate those frames. I will never get one of those frames again. So for now I'm using these wood frames, these server frames. There's a few other guys that make them. Who is it? Octominer, I think, makes some 12 cards. 12 card server cases. Like 12 cards. This is 8. This thing is massive. I haven't even tried to lift it yet. I bet this thing weighs... This thing probably weighs like 30 pounds. You get 8 cards in there. 8 big cards with 3 power supplies in it. I bet you that thing weighs an absolute ton. It'd be tough to move around. There's also 5 minimum order on those, so I'm not quite there yet where I can buy, you know, I don't know what that would be, like 8,000 Canadian worth of just cases at the same time. I don't mind dropping that on graphics cards, but to drop that just on cases, like that's crazy. I can't do that yet. Hopefully soon though. Anyways, enough blathering on. I'm going to put the lid on this thing and then plug it in and see what happens. There we go, just plug that one in. That rig should use about 1,000 watts and it's just on 120 volt power. I've got these super heavy duty rigs here on 240. So this is 130 amp breaker. These each use about 2,000 watts. And this one up here uses, I don't know, 1,400 watts or something. I got a little room, I guess, left on that 30 amp. I need to do some math and find out. Oh yeah, how could I forget? This little tiny guy up there. That one is on 240 as well, so that's why. Those 240s are all tapped. I'd like to stick this one into a server case as well. I was thinking about selling these RX 580 cards, but you know, that rig is just so stable. It never resets. I never need to touch it. It just sits there and does its thing. So unless coin prices drop to where it's not profitable anymore, I just really like that card. I guess I got some sentimental attachment to it. These Nitro Special Edition cards were the first ever mining specific cards I ever got. I bought them just to mine. They used to be on an old B250 board. I had a 13 card rig going. It's the first time I ever had to troubleshoot, BIOS mod. You know, those are a good time. Maybe I'll have to frame one of those cards, give it to my grandkids and say, this is how it all began. That case is much quieter than this one. Some air coming out of there. Oh yeah. Oh, that thing just pushes the air out of there. That's beauty. So that thing takes care of itself. This big fan can blow up on that case, which doesn't really need it. That thing, those cards run so cool, it's amazing. Oh yes, I want to talk too. The hazards of mining. There you go. Cut one. Another one. You should get hazard pay, man. I'm cutting myself all over the place. Every time I play with components, gash up my hands, my fingers. Crazy. Need to hire someone to do this stuff for me. I'll be getting there soon, I guess. But for now, it's all me. Let's go check out the software. Here we go. That rig, I had already set this, I guess like a flight sheet, except this is on Simple Miner. So this is still tuning. Let's check this out here. We got 46.4 on all of the cards. Software says it's using 1 kilowatt. I've never put this thing on a meter. It'd be nice to see. 8 cards going. So here's my overclocks. Core, I guess we need to move that over here. Here we go. Core 1200, memory 1075. It's not telling me my, let's just close out of here, because I had that running. This Simple Miner was running. There we go. Memory offset, power limit. What's going on here? These are AMD cards. This should. These advanced tools. This should show me core offset, memory offset. What's going on here? This is totally messed up. This is not what I put in here. Oh, that would be why. I picked my Spider 360 rig. So these are all my 3060 cards. Here you go, 3060 cards. This is all Raven. 23.5, 23.1, 23.2. All Raven. Okay, let's go back. Here we go, 6700 XT. This is the guy right here. Here we go. Okay, there we go. So I got core 1200, memory 1075, core undervolt. Let's see what the old ones were. 830, okay. So I need to put some 830s in here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry about that filming. I need to figure out how to record screens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've never, memory undervolt for MVDD and MVDDC. I don't know if that's an L or an I. I haven't tinkered with these on these cards. I need to do that, I guess. These are just no BIOS mod on these. I don't know if there is a BIOS mod for the 6000 series AMDs. Hopefully soon that comes. Maybe we can get these cards up to 50 hashes someday. See if this makes a difference. This says it's 1350, 850. Okay, I'm gonna have to play with those and try to lower those. I haven't done anything with them. We'll do that now. Well, I'll fiddle with that, but for now, running stable. $372 hashes on Ethereum. Okay, there you go. One rig done. Now time to work on that 3080 Ti and those other random things. Time to get some nice permanent setups here, and then I don't have to touch any of these rigs. No more moving cards around. There's one more done. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. I will see you guys later. Well, I just can't leave things alone. I thought the video was over, but here we go. This is a dusty screen. Here we go. I changed the overclock settings a little bit. Did a little bit of research online. I've still got the core at 1200. Some of these guys are putting that higher. I've seen some guys 1275. I'm going to start bumping that up in like 5 increments and see what happens. I'll leave it for now though, because I just added all these. So memory 1075. Core 830. I could lower that a bit. I think a lot of guys have that lower. I'll leave it for now. Here's the new values. Memory 1260. Here's another memory 750. So I did that, and the software is reading this as just about 1,000 watts. Sorry, that would be awesome, 1,000 watts. Software is reading it as 100 watts lower. Performance is the same. It'd be cool to get a little power meter to check this actually out. Maybe I'll have to order one of these and see. You know what? I think I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to order myself a little power meter. But for now, look, 46.1 to 46.5. It's kind of the general range of these. And it seems okay. We'll just see. I will let this run for a while. And then what I will be doing is bumping these up in increments of 5 on the core and lowering my core undervolt right here by 5 and see how this works. Hopefully it stays stable. For now, we got 8 cards hashing away in that beautiful case. That room is hot, and we got some nice mid-50s temperatures on this card. Seems okay to me. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoy seeing these builds that I'm doing. I will keep building, keep doing videos. I'm liking this. It is a lot of fun. Take it easy, guys.